The ongoing feud between Machine Gun Kelly, MGK, and Brian Austin Green has taken an increasingly personal and heated turn, especially following the arrival of MGK and Megan Fox's first child together. While the public spectacle of this conflict initially seemed like a battle between two men vying for Fox's affections, it has evolved into a deeper, more complicated drama that intertwines with family dynamics, social media spats, and childish jabs, leaving fans captivated and at times perplexed. The saga began when Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green, who had been married for 10 years, announced their split in 2020. The couple, who shares 3 children, had already been navigating an on-again, off-again relationship before calling it quits. Green, known for his role on Beverly Hills 90210, took the separation in stride initially, keeping things cordial for the sake of their kids. Megan Fox, on the other hand, soon found solace and a new romance in MGK, whose real name is Colson Baker. The relationship between Fox and MGK was highly publicized, attracting both fans and critics alike. Their whirlwind romance became a frequent topic of gossip, further complicated by the revelation that Fox had filed for divorce from Green just months after becoming involved with MGK. The nature of MGK's and Fox's relationship immediately drew attention, especially given their contrasting personalities and lifestyles. MGK, a rock musician and actor, is known for his bold, rebellious persona and his tumultuous past. In contrast, Green, who had been a beloved teen heartthrob during his 90210 days, maintained a more subdued public image, marked by a series of personal transformations and attempts to balance family life. Despite the obvious tension between the two men, the real friction started to manifest when Fox and MGK became more serious about their relationship. The public displays of affection, the matching tattoos, and the constant stream of media attention only fueled the fire. What added fuel to the fire was the news that Fox and MGK were expecting a child together. This announcement took the feud to an entirely new level, bringing not only the couple's personal lives into the spotlight, but also the emotional stakes of parenting, ex-spouses, and co-parenting. Fans of both men began speculating about how Green, who shares 3 children with Fox, would handle the situation. MGK, now entering the world of fatherhood, found himself facing the complexities of a blended family, one that included Fox's children from her previous marriage and a new baby on the way. For Green, it was hard to hide his frustration, especially considering the timing of the pregnancy announcement. Though he had publicly moved on with several relationships of his own, including a brief romance with actor Sharna Burgess, Green's post-divorce journey was often portrayed in the media as less glamorous compared to Fox's whirlwind romance with MGK. The optics of it all seemed to play a significant role in the escalating feud between the two men. What made the situation even more complicated was the presence of social media. In an age where celebrities often speak their truth directly to the public, neither MGK nor Green shied away from addressing the growing animosity. For instance, Green used his social media platform to subtly allude to the dynamics of the situation. He posted cryptic messages, occasionally calling out the childish behavior he believed was at play. Meanwhile, MGK fired back with snarky comments, turning the feud into a more direct and biting back and forth. Their online exchanges have often bordered on immature, with each one seemingly trying to outdo the other in petty jabs. The public nature of their conflict only added fuel to the fire, and soon, a narrative began to develop. The former husband of Fox was bitter and frustrated by his ex-wife's new life, while MGK was determined to prove his place in her world. The birth of Fox and MGK's first child, a daughter, further complicated matters. Not only did it solidify their bond, but it also highlighted the stark contrasts between the two families. MGK quickly embraced his new role as a father, posting photos of his newborn daughter and expressing his excitement and gratitude for the experience. Fox, who had a difficult relationship with Green in the latter years of their marriage, appeared happy in her new life, often sharing intimate moments with MGK on social media. Green, however, remained largely quiet during this period, choosing not to comment on the new addition to the family directly. But despite the silence from Green, his frustration was apparent in other ways. A significant source of tension was how Green was reportedly handling the reality of co-parenting with Fox while she was now tied to MGK. The constant references to MGK as a father figure to Fox's children and the overt display of his closeness to them seemed to rub Green the wrong way. While Fox and MGK were frequently seen with her kids, Green appeared less involved in family outings and media appearances, leading some to wonder whether he felt excluded from the new family dynamic. Green's frustrations manifested in subtle but noticeable ways. He made occasional references to the importance of keeping things civil for the sake of the children, but seemed to imply that things were not as easy as they appeared. He posted a particularly cryptic message that suggested he didn't appreciate the drama surrounding his ex-wife's new family, which many speculated was a thinly veiled swipe at MGK. Despite these quiet outbursts, Green continued to maintain a relatively calm exterior when dealing with the press, never openly attacking MGK but certainly not hiding his annoyance. On the other hand, MGK seemed to embrace the role of the bad boy in the situation, feeding into the public persona of being the rebellious partner. His willingness to get into social media squabbles and deliver pointed comments about Green was indicative of his tendency to lean into conflict rather than avoid it. The rivalry between him and Green seemed to feed into the narrative of two men competing for the affection of the same woman, but the deeper complexities of co-parenting and familial tension were often overlooked in favor of sensationalized headlines. One of the most childish twists to the feud occurred when both men began making passive-aggressive remarks about each other's parenting styles. Green, in a rare interview, alluded to the idea that his kids were better off in a stable, predictable environment, whereas MGK's lifestyle seemed less conventional and more unpredictable. While he didn't directly attack MGK's parenting, it was clear that he felt his approach to fatherhood was superior. MGK, on the other hand, fired back with comments about how he was teaching Fox's children to embrace creativity and freedom, positioning himself as the cool stepdad in the equation. The jabs at each other's parenting not only added fuel to the fire but revealed deeper insecurities about their roles in Fox's life and the lives of her children. In the end, the feud between Machine Gun Kelly and Brian Austin Green seems to have taken on a life of its own, spiraling into a bitter and childish rivalry that shows no signs of subsiding. While the public may be entertained by the drama unfolding on social media and in the tabloids, the true impact of this conflict is likely felt in the private moments of their lives, as both men attempt to navigate the complexities of parenting, blended families, and the lingering